When it comes to scars, two key elements are required to attain realism: the color of the scar and the depth of the scar. In this tutorial, I'll show you how I set up a shader that covers both elements. On top of that, I will also show you my secret method which enables me to adjust the level of grotesqueness. To get started, let's set up a realistic skin shader with a natural base color and subsurface scatter. This immediately creates a skin-like material, but without imperfections is too smooth to look natural. To add imperfections, we need a few more nodes, and the easiest way to add any node is to bring up the Add menu and search the node by its name. Let's start with a Mix Color node, a Map Range node, and a Noise Texture node. These three generate random patterns, soften them, and use the result to mix the base color of the skin with a slightly darker variation, resulting in randomly scattered marks over the skin. But adding the scar itself requires some preparation. In particular, we need to prepare a mask, which calls for a quick visit to the Texture Paint workspace. First, on the left, create a blank image for the mask. Then on the right, switch to Edit mode. Select the region where the scar should be and unwrap it with the UV menu. The unwrapped mesh should now be overlaid on the left. The next step is to switch back to Texture Paint mode and draw out the shape of the scar, keeping 2 points in mind. First, don't worry too much about the exact shape. Any detail you draw right now will be overshadowed later as we procedurally make the scar more grotesque. Second, and this is important, use a fall-off curve for the brush. The fall-off makes the marks fade away towards the edge of the mask, allowing us to adjust the width of the scar later on from the shader nodes. Finally, make sure to save all images before heading back to the shading workspace. Here, let's add a Mix Color node, a Map Range node, an Image Texture node, and a Texture Coordinate node. These nodes take the mask, trim it, and use the result to color the scar. But they don't give the scar any depth. For that, we need a bump node. The result is a scar where the width is adjusted by the parameters on the Map Range node, leaving the depth to be adjusted by the strength value on the bump node. This puts into place the two key visual elements of a realistic scar, but I also promised you a secret third element in the form of adjustable grotesqueness, which is achieved by the final two nodes of this setup. The purpose of these two nodes is to scramble the UV coordinates and give the scar a callus-like quality, which can be adjusted by the combination of the scale value on the noise texture node and the factor input on the mix color node. But there are a few things to consider. First, the size of the model. The sculpture I have here is about 3.5 units in height. Your model might be different, in which case these values need to be adjusted accordingly. Second, if you make changes to the sculpture, you also need to repeat the steps of unwrapping the UV and drawing out the mask. And finally, for the purpose of this video, I kept things simple by using a basic material for the underlying skin. If you want something more sophisticated, you should have a look at the tutorial where I take the time to set up a proper, realistic skin shader. As for this one, thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.